For the last 10 years, everybody told you to get an SUV. Higher seat, easier to get in and out, more cargo room, better visibility, and millions of drivers over 50 listened. But here is what nobody is talking about right now. A quiet but very real trend is happening across America, where seniors who made that switch are switching right back. And the reasons are not what you would expect. If you or someone you love is driving an SUV and wondering why it does not feel as safe or comfortable as it used to, stay with me. Because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you think about your next car. This is not about brand loyalty or nostalgia. This is not about preferring the way sedans looked in 1985. This is about real, documented changes in how modern sedans are built, combined with real, documented changes in what drivers over 50 actually need from a vehicle. The SUV was sold to your generation as the obvious choice, but the pitch left out some important details that become more relevant every single year after 50. By the time this video is done, you will have a clear, honest picture of what is actually driving this shift and whether it might be the right move for you. Reason 1. Getting in and out is not actually easier in an SUV. Let's start by taking apart the biggest myth that sold a generation of seniors on sport utility vehicles. The pitch was simple. Higher seating position means less bending, less strain, easier entry and exit. And for drivers in their early 50s who were dealing with mild knee discomfort, that made sense. But here is where it gets more complicated than the dealership ever explained. Getting into a high-riding SUV, particularly the mid-size and full-size models that became so popular, does not just require less bending. It requires a significant step up. We are talking about a door sill height of 18 to 22 inches on many popular models, compared to 14 to 16 inches on a typical sedan. For a driver with strong legs and good hip mobility, that step up is minor. But for a driver dealing with hip stiffness, reduced balance, or any lower body weakness, conditions that become increasingly common after 60, that step up is a genuine physical challenge every single time you get in or out of the car. Physical therapists who work with older adults have been pointing this out for years. The ideal entry height for someone with limited hip or knee mobility is not as high as possible. It is approximately the same height as a standard chair seat, which is about 17 to 18 inches from the ground. Many modern sedans, particularly those with slightly raised ride heights, hit almost exactly that range. You sit down and pivot in rather than hoisting yourself up. The motion is controlled, balanced, and far gentler on arthritic joints. And here's the part that surprises most people. Falls getting into and out of vehicles are a leading cause of injury for adults over 65. The combination of a high step, an awkward reaching grip on the doorframe, and uneven pavement is a setup for a stumble. Sedans eliminate the step-up problem entirely and typically offer a door-opening geometry that makes the pivot-in motion much more natural and secure. Reason 2. The ride quality difference is significant. Pull up a side-by-side comparison of ride quality ratings for any major automotive publication, and you will see the same pattern repeated over and over again. Sedans, as a category, deliver a smoother, more composed ride than SUVs in the same price range. And after 50, that difference is not just a matter of comfort. It matters for pain, fatigue, and the physical toll that driving takes on your body. Here is the mechanical reason. SUVs sit on a taller platform and typically use a stiffer suspension tuning to manage the higher center of gravity that comes with their size and weight. That stiffness translates directly into how road imperfections travel through the chassis and into the seat. Every expansion joint, pothole, and rough railroad crossing sends a jolt through the structure that a sedan, lowered to the ground and tuned for a flatter ride, absorbs significantly better. For a 30-year-old with no back issues, that difference is minor. For a 65-year-old with lumbar sensitivity, spinal stenosis, or compressed discs, conditions that are remarkably common in this age group, the cumulative effect of a harsher ride over a 45-minute drive is real pain and real fatigue. Many drivers in this demographic have reported that switching from a mid-size SUV to a well-tuned sedan reduced their post-drive back and hip discomfort noticeably within the first week. Modern sedans have also closed the gap on road noise significantly. Cars like the Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Hyundai Sonata, and Kia K5 now offer cabin refinement that matches or exceeds what you would find in many crossovers, costing substantially more. A quiet, smooth cabin reduces driver fatigue on long trips. And for older drivers whose auditory processing takes more mental effort than it used to, a quieter interior also means less cognitive load while navigating traffic. Reason 3. Sedans are genuinely easier to drive and park. Here is something that rarely makes it into the marketing conversation. A sedan is a fundamentally easier vehicle to place accurately on the road than a comparably priced SUV. And after 50, precision and confidence behind the wheel are not luxuries. They are safety factors. The reasons come down to physics and geometry. Sedans have a lower center of gravity, which makes them more stable in emergency maneuvers and in high wind conditions on the highway. They have shorter overall body length in most cases, making parking and maneuvering in tight urban spaces less stressful. Their narrower width makes lane placement on rural roads and multi-level parking garages less mentally taxing. And their lower hood line, closer to the ground in the driver's field of view, actually improves close-range visibility for the driver, particularly when navigating parking lots where pedestrians and low objects need to be seen. Many older drivers report that their confidence gradually eroded after switching to a larger SUV, particularly in parking situations. The vehicle felt large, the backup camera showed things that looked close but were hard to judge precisely, and parallel parking went from occasional inconvenience to avoided entirely. That erosion of confidence is not a personality flaw. It is a rational response to operating a larger, higher-profile vehicle with less intuitive feedback through the steering and chassis. Sedans give you what engineers call a lower polar moment of inertia, which in plain language means the vehicle responds more directly and predictably to your steering inputs. You feel more connected to what the car is doing. That feeling of connection and control is enormously reassuring for older drivers, and it translates into genuinely better real-world handling in the situations that actually matter. Quick lane changes, sudden stops, and low-speed maneuvering in crowded spaces. If you want more honest, practical car advice made specifically for drivers over 50, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover the things the dealership never tells you, and it could save you thousands on your next decision. Reason 4. Fuel economy has shifted decisively in favor of sedans. Let's talk money, because this is where the sedan case becomes extremely difficult to argue against. The fuel economy gap between sedans and SUVs has not closed. If anything, it has grown in favor of sedans as both categories have evolved. A current-generation Toyota Camry hybrid delivers approximately 46 miles per gallon in the city and 48 on the highway. The current-generation Honda Accord hybrid gets approximately 51 miles per gallon in the city and 44 on the highway. Now compare that to a comparable mid-size SUV hybrid. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, one of the most fuel-efficient SUVs on the market, returns approximately 41 miles per gallon combined. The Honda CR-V Hybrid gets approximately 40 miles per gallon combined. That gap might not sound enormous on paper, but run it through actual miles driven, and it becomes very real money. A driver covering 12,000 miles per year, close to the national average for drivers over 65, at a combined fuel economy of 46 miles per gallon versus 38 miles per gallon will save roughly 55 to 75 gallons of fuel per year, depending on their driving mix. At current national average fuel prices, that is over $200 annually, year after year, for the life of the vehicle. Over 10 years, that is $2,000 or more, just in fuel. And for drivers who are considering an electric or plug-in hybrid option, the sedan segment is where the technology has reached its most mature, most affordable, and most range-capable form. The Toyota Camry plug-in hybrid and the Honda Accord plug-in hybrid represent some of the best real-world value in the entire passenger car market for drivers who want to minimize fuel costs without dealing with the range anxiety of a fully electric vehicle. Reason 5. Modern sedans are loaded with the safety tech seniors need most. Here is the point where the conversation shifts from practical to genuinely important. One of the reasons the SUV dominated the last decade was the perception that bigger meant safer. More metal around you, higher seating position, more visibility. But the data tells a more nuanced story, and modern sedan safety technology has changed the equation dramatically. Every major sedan in the current market now comes standard with a suite of driver assistance features that are specifically valuable for older drivers. Automatic emergency braking, which can detect a stopped vehicle or pedestrian ahead and apply the brakes faster than any human can react, is now standard equipment on virtually every new sedan sold in America. Forward collision warning gives you an audible and visual alert before the situation becomes critical. Lane Keeping Assist gently corrects your steering if you drift out of your lane without signaling, a safeguard that becomes more valuable as sustained attention becomes more effortful with age. But here is where it gets more interesting. Several features that matter most for drivers over 50 are actually better implemented and more effective on sedans than on many SUVs in the same price range. Blind spot monitoring, for example, is easier to act on in a sedan because the lower, more connected driving position gives you better feel for the vehicle's placement in its lane. Rear cross-traffic alert, which warns you of approaching cars when backing out of a parking space, is something many older drivers rank as one of the most valuable features they have ever had. And sedan implementations of this system are typically just as capable as those found in far more expensive crossovers. Adaptive cruise control with lane centering, which keeps the car centered in its lane and automatically adjusts speed to maintain a safe following distance on the highway, is now available on sedans starting around $30,000. For drivers over 60 who find long highway trips increasingly fatiguing, this feature is transformative. It does not replace your attention, but it meaningfully reduces the physical and cognitive workload of maintaining speed and lane position over long distances. Reason 6. The cost advantage goes far beyond the sticker price. Most people think about the sedan versus SUV cost comparison in terms of purchase price. And yes, sedans are typically several $1,000s less expensive at the same trim level than comparable crossovers and SUVs. But the full cost picture is considerably larger than the sticker. And when you add everything up, the sedan advantage over 5 to 7 years of ownership is substantial. Insurance is one piece most buyers overlook entirely. SUVs carry higher insurance premiums than sedans of comparable value, primarily because they cause more damage to other vehicles in collisions and because their repair costs are higher. A driver over 65 who is already paying elevated premiums due to age can expect to pay meaningfully less per year to insure a mid-size sedan than an equivalent SUV. Over a 5-year ownership period, that difference can easily reach $1,000 to $2,000. Tire costs are another often ignored factor. SUVs run on larger tires, typically 17 to 20 inches in diameter, and those tires cost significantly more to replace than the 15 and 16-inch tires found on many sedans. A full set of 4 replacement tires for a popular midsize SUV can cost between $600 and $1,000 installed. The same job on a midsize sedan might run $350 to $550. For a driver on a fixed retirement income, that difference matters every time the tires wear out. Brake wear is accelerated on heavier vehicles, which typically describes SUVs relative to sedans. A heavier vehicle requires more braking force to stop, which means pads and rotors wear faster and need replacement more frequently. Oil changes, while similar in basic cost, may run slightly higher on SUV engines that hold more oil. And because SUVs are heavier, they place more cumulative stress on suspension components, meaning bushings, shocks, and struts may need attention sooner over the life of the vehicle. None of these individual costs is enormous in isolation, but added together, across a 5 to 7 year ownership period, the total cost of ownership advantage for a comparably equipped sedan over an SUV regularly runs between $4,000 and $8,000. That is real money. Money that could fund a vacation, contribute to a grandchild's education, or simply stay in your retirement account where it belongs. Reason 7. Driving confidence and the peace of mind factor. This final point is the one that is hardest to put a number on, but it may be the most important of all. There is a growing body of research and clinical observation showing that driving confidence, a driver's subjective sense of control, comfort, and capability behind the wheel, has a direct relationship with driving safety outcomes for older adults. Drivers who feel confident in their vehicle are more likely to maintain awareness, make decisive maneuvers, and respond well under pressure. Drivers who feel uncertain, cramped by a vehicle that feels too large, or who white-knuckle their way through parking lots because the SUV's size feels unmanageable. Those drivers are experiencing a form of low-grade stress every time they get behind the wheel that degrades their performance in measurable ways. A significant number of older drivers who made the return to sedans have described the experience in remarkably consistent terms. The car feels like theirs again. They feel like they know where the corners are. Parking became something they stopped dreading. Highway driving felt calmer because the car tracked confidently at speed without the subtle side-to-side float that higher-profile SUVs exhibit in crosswinds. They felt, in a word that comes up again and again in these conversations, in control. That feeling is not trivial. It is the difference between a driver who stays active, independent, and mobile into their 70s and 80s, because driving feels manageable and enjoyable, and a driver who quietly begins limiting their trips, then avoiding highways, then avoiding night driving, then handing over the keys far earlier than necessary. Driving independence is a quality-of-life issue of enormous significance for older Americans. A vehicle that supports your confidence and fits your body's changing needs is not a step down. It is a smart, informed choice. The bottom line: the SUV was sold to your generation as the obvious upgrade. More room, higher seat, more commanding presence on the road. And for many drivers in many circumstances, that pitch held up. But the full story is more complicated and more interesting than the dealership's talking points ever acknowledged. Modern sedans ride smoother, cost less to own, return better fuel economy, fit the body's changing entry and exit needs more naturally than most people realize, and come loaded with the same or better safety technology than comparably priced crossovers. And for many drivers over 50 who have made the switch back, the biggest benefit turned out to be the one that does not appear on any spec sheet: the return of genuine confidence behind the wheel. None of this means every senior should immediately trade their SUV for a sedan. If you regularly carry grandchildren, haul equipment, tow a trailer, or live somewhere that genuinely demands all-wheel drive and ground clearance for significant stretches of the year, the SUV still earns its place. But if you bought yours primarily because someone told you it was the smart choice for older drivers, and you have been quietly wondering ever since whether it is actually working for you, this video was made specifically for that question. Here is what I want to know from you. Are you currently driving a sedan or an SUV? And if you switched from one to the other, what surprised you most about the change? Leave your answer in the comments. Your experience is genuinely useful to the other drivers in this community, and I read every single response. And if this kind of honest, practical car content is useful to you, subscribe now so you do not miss what is coming next.